and it's one of my favorite segments on Peace on the Streets radio show. It is Sports Talk. What's up, fellas?
Woo!
What up, what up, what up?
Everything's good. How about you guys?
You already know. Another night over here. What's good with you, BC?
Oh, not much, man. I've been putting miles on the car. I am tired, but I am ready to talk sports with my friends, my family over here. Peace on the Streets Radio.
Yes, sir. LeBron James is the GOAT.
Why you say so? Why you say so?
If LeBron James is not on the USA team, they would lose.
Ooh,
They would
that's a pretty
lose.
hot take right there, huh?
They would lose.
So if LeBron is not playing right now, you think that they would not be undefeated how they are right now?
At all. Because there's no leader. There's no leader. No one's want to step up and be the leader, but LeBron said, nah, my name ain't going to be signing this foolishness. I'm going to help y'all win. He scored the last, 19 points in the last 4 minutes?
Yeah, and he scored the game-winning bucket.
And man. And then after that, he scored. He just went on a tear. He just took the game over. Said, everybody, just get out the way. Y'all boys don't know how to play. I got it. And the GOAT, he is the GOAT, man. Because his legacy is not even over. It's not even over, so it's hard to compare him to Michael Jordan because he's still playing. I thought you started judging people after the career is over, right?
Yeah. No, just going off of what you're saying about LeBron and the Team USA, if I agree with you. If he's not on the team, they're not a complete team because he brings the tenacity and the winning edge that they need to get over the hump against these teams that have 61 NBA players across the world that they're going up against compared to the 92 Dream Team that they only had 9 NBA players that they went up against. It's like
it's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
Because them boys giving them all the hell they can stand.
Yeah, bro.
The only other guy on the team that's got as much championship experience, winning experience as LeBron anyway, is Steph. But on top of that, again, you look at how multifaceted all around LeBron is versus Steph. It's night and day. Steph is a great three-point shooter, great playmaker and stuff like that, but not on the level LeBron is. And he's also the defensive versatility that LeBron has. Obviously, everybody knows about it. So, yeah, LeBron is definitely a key part, if not the key part, of this Team USA, for sure.
And what happened to Kevin Durant?
He injured right now, just like always. He's always on the injury list.
He's always hurt.
Glass house,
he
always is.
Yeah, but they want him back on the floor, and they need him back on the floor too to be winning by 10, 15 points instead of going down to the last second of the game hoping LeBron comes out with a game winner.
Right, man. So, I hope Kevin Durant, he does come back and carry. He can only hit, but he was off lately. The other day, I'm like, man, I can shoot better than him. He was just jacking them up. I was like, get a damn ball to LeBron, man.
It's like summer league action over here, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, but it's tough when you're playing in a big Olympic squad like that. You're gonna see max LeBron getting 10 points, Curry getting 9 points, Anthony Edwards getting 5, 6 points. Like, you're not going to see players really on an average score 15 to 20 points a game because there's so many superstars on the team.
Yeah, and even if you do have it's just going to be for one game where you'll see a guy go off. Like, even in 1992 Dream Team, everyone, it had Michael Jordan on it. Whether he's your GOAT or not, it's debatable. But he wasn't scoring a lot of points on those teams either. So it's just natural. The ball's going to be spread around a lot more. And, I think it's for the betterment of the team that system's in place.
And what's wrong with Skip Bayless?
Skip
hates LeBron. I don't care what LeBron does. Skip going to always find a way to hate on him. Because he said in the comment, he said LeBron James, he does good at post games, little games that don't matter. Really? I watched LeBron James highlight tapes when he first came into the league. Untouchable.
Bro.
Unstoppable.
LeBron is one of the last guys to get drafted out of high school. LeBron has gone to 11 NBA finals. LeBron has only lost 2 times in the first round going into the playoffs. He's been to the playoffs since 2004. Like, this guy's resume is just a long, long list. Like,
it's getting longer.
And how do you still, obviously not you, I'm not talking to you, just the people out there. How do you still hate on the man?
Yeah. Whether or not you think he's the greatest of all time, it's up for debate. And it's a fair debate between both him and Michael Jordan, even Kareem in some circles. But, yeah, the LeBron hate, it's gotten old. Like, yeah, when he first started, like, before he even won a ring, yeah, I hated the guy because he was, to me, very overrated. Everyone's already calling him the best when he hasn't won anything. Mm-hmm. Even after the 3rd championship, or when he won it in Cleveland, everyone was already crowning him the best. And I was like, dude, he's still, 31, 32 years old. He's still got a long way to go. He's still got, He's still got the scoring record to get. He's got all of his other accolades, possibly 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists. He's on his way to getting all of those stats. He's stuffing up the stat sheet. Now, again, 4 championships to 6, 4 MVPs to 5. That stuff I think that does matter. But again, for you to hate on the guy, it's ridiculous. He has contributed over 20 years to the NBA. He's put his body kept his body in peak condition. Like you can't deny the greatness. You gotta appreciate it.
Yeah, and he's a generational talent, just like Steph Curry, just like Kobe Bryant, just like Michael Jordan.
Yep.
The 4 Mount Rushmore of generational talent in the NBA. So it's like you gotta appreciate that because once he retires, people are gonna be like, "Wow, I miss LeBron, man.
Yep.
Oh my God, there's no one like him," and this and that.
Just like Kobe, just like Mike,
Exactly.
just like Steph's gonna be at some point. Everybody that hates on him because they think that all he does is shoot threes. They don't realize his 3-point gravity that he has never been seen before in the history of the league. No other player, even when he doesn't have the ball, the fact that you have to keep an eye on him to see where he's going, you have to commit multiple defenders to keeping their eyes on him, switching onto him, because the second he gets open and he gets a shot, it's going in.
Yep.
That is such a rare thing, and even the best 3-point shooters today do not have that kind of scoring gravity.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
you gotta appreciate greatness while you have it. And again, it's fun to debate the best. It's fun to kind of go at it, nitpick little things here and there. Who's got a deep defensive player of the year? Who doesn't? Who's got more all defense teams, or who's got more 3-point? Like however you want to do it's fine. But at the end of the day, these guys have put themselves through so much work over the course of their careers, and they deserve all the flowers, all the roses that they get.
Yeah, man. Yep. And sticking with giving flowers out, man. Sticking with the hardwood, too, man.
Yeah.
Miami Heat out there. The NBA Summer League champions, baby.
All right.
Let's go. They beat the Memphis Grizzlies in overtime, 120-118. Game MVP Josh Christopher led the Heat with 24 points. Kel Ware, first-round pick for the Heat, 21 points, 10 rebounds. Aldrin Williams, I hope I said that right, 21 points. And then Cole Spider, which is his nickname, had 19 points. And then our second-round pick, Larson, finished with 16 points. Brandon, me as a Miami Heat fan, you think I should be excited about this as NBA Summer League championship?
I mean, I think you should be excited for how your first-round prospect played. Kel Ware, 20 points, 10 boards. Like that's an impressive Summer League championship series right there. That's the championship game. So that's when the lights are on, as bright as they can be in the Summer League.
For him at this point.
Yeah, so I think that's great. You're giving a lot of your young players, even some of your G League players, some of that experience on the hardwood like that. It's going to be great. And I know probably come fall, come winter, when the season starts, Ware might have to sit on the bench for a little bit. He's got to earn his way. But honestly, like we talked about before the draft, I think a starting lineup with Bam and Kel in it at the 4 and 5, however you want to switch them, whoever you want playing what, or just have them both be interchangeable, just have them both be bigs. I think that's a fantastic lineup for you guys because they're both tall, they have great wingspans, they both have the ability to switch onto multiple defenders, onto anybody. It's a great lineup, and I think that if the Heat were smart, eventually over the course of the season, they would move Ware into the starting lineup and let him and Bam just be a nightmare for opposing offenses down low.
Yeah, and Eric Spoelstra seeing it right now with Bam and AD. Obviously, comparing AD to Ware is like completely off the books. But you can see that the type of player that he can be in the future.
Yeah,
he can be like Anthony Davis. So you got Bam.
Did you see Bam hitting threes?
Yeah,
I mean, Bam has
man,
become
exactly.
a 3-point threat.
Yeah, dude. He hitting the threes. Kel Ware can do the same. They both are basically the same player, really. Do the pick and roll well, get the little layup or dunk action, pop out for the 3 now. Bam can do that now. He's probably shooting 3 of them in the game.
Yep.
So it's looking very promising for the front court.
I think the only maybe there's a slight difference is I think Bam is maybe a little bit shorter and stockier, whereas Ware's a little bit taller, lengthier. But again, you got a stretch 4 and you got a big, then it still works really well. So I like the matchup options that you guys have down there, and I think that the future is going to be very bright for Miami for sure.
Yeah. Well, man, it's middle of summer, man, so sports be slowing down so much. So we're gonna have Prince over here play a couple of songs for you guys, and we're gonna come back and talk about some favorite Olympic sports and a person that's holding out in the NFL that doesn't want to show up to training camp.
Nah.
Let's get it. Prince, where you at? We back with Sports Talk. We got BC in the building. It's your boy, George Michael. Steve is not with us in the mix, but Prince already in the mix with the DJ sounds, baby.
Sir, yes, sir.
Well, like I said before we went to break, man, there's not a lot of sports going on. We got MLB going on, but you want to talk about that?
Of course I do, man.
Come on,
dude.
Man.
Dude, I work for the team, one of the teams, man. Yeah. Come on, how can we not talk a little bit?
He works for the Tampa Bay Rays, and I know the Tampa Bay Rays are listening right now. Get my dog a raise, man. Come on, baby. The MLB trade deadline is on July 30th at 6 p.m., which will be next week Tuesday. Next week Tuesday.
Yep.
Just ask you a couple of questions, Brandon, because I know you got a lot of insight going on. But before we talk about your trades for your team, the Tampa Bay Rays, just in the league overall, do you expect any trades to happen on Tuesday, before Tuesday or on Tuesday?
I mean, pretty much with the MLB trade deadline, there's always going to be sellers and buyers. Right now, I mean, obviously, Yankees are a big one that I could see trying to make some moves. You know, they've been kind of tanking off a little bit towards in June and July, so they might be, you know, the Yankees are Yankees. They're always going to try to buy. They're always going to try to poach some team that's going to try to get, you know, that's going to try to offload some talent. And I know that one of the teams they're looking at potentially is the Rays. Like, I know one guy in particular that has been linked to the Dodgers, possibly linked to the Mariners, but also possibly the Yankees. Randy Arozarena could be that guy that could fill in that outfield bat. You know, you got Stanton, you got Judge out there. And he'd be a great fit for them. Same thing with the Dodgers. You know, he is a clutch player. He's been struggling a little bit this year, you know, getting his average up. Like, he was batting in like the 150s, 160s for most of the year. Been hot lately. He's going to give you, on average, 250. He's going to get you 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases. He's going to be a productive part of the lineup. It would be hard to see him go just because of what he's meant to this franchise. I mean, obviously, when he came out in 2020, postseason, set the record for home runs and hits. That was incredible run. Rookie of the Year, All-Star, again, 3 straight seasons starting off his career, 20 steals, 20 dingers. I don't know. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him get traded. I feel like I not just from, you know, like I feel like if the right trade presents itself, you can always make it work. But for Randy, unless we're getting a premier catching prospect in return, I don't want to see Randy leave this team. And then the same thing goes for Isaac Paredes. Dude just got named to his first All-Star game this past year. He's young. He's about 3-4 years younger than Randy, if I'm not mistaken. I think Randy's like 29 or 30. Isaac is 25 years old. He's an infield prospect, or not infield prospect. Infielder, plays third. You can shift him over the first. Mm-hmm. It'd be a great fit because they also have infield prospects on that side that they're trying to call up anyway. And then I think if they make any moves at the trade deadline, I could see them potentially getting rid of Zach Eflin. He was their opening day starter, if I'm not mistaken, this year. You know, he was supposed to be kind of like the de facto ace while most of their starting pitching, Shane McClanahan, Shane Baz, Drew Rasmussen, Jeffrey Springs are all out and injured. Now we're starting to get to that point where those guys are coming back. They already traded one of their other stars in the rotation, Savali. They're trying to save some money potentially because they signed him to the largest free agent contract in Rays history. So they might try to move him to save some money, maybe get some prospects in return, and make room for guys that are coming up because you've already got guys, Ryan Pepio, Taj Bradley, that have cemented themselves as starters in the rotation. And once you get McClanahan back, once you get Baz is already back, once you get Rasmussen and Springs back, you got a logjam at starting pitcher. So it's a good problem to have, but eventually somebody is going to find their way out of a job. And I think it's Zach Eflin, and he's been pretty consistent this year, so I feel like they could possibly get a haul for him. But again, anything where we're letting go of a guy like a Arozarena or Paredes, you guys better come with a premier catching prospect because our catchers right now have been struggling a lot this year. Ben Rortved's been good, but I just kind of see him as a backup. And Alex Jackson, batting average under 100. That's all I need to say. Batting average under 100.
Yeah, we were looking at it earlier, folks. We were looking at it earlier. It was pretty bad.
0.8088. And like I said, love the team, love the franchise, but I think that the time has come to perhaps try other options behind the plate. So that's kind of how I see the Rays kind of doing their trade deadline. Maybe another name as well. They try to offload Brandon Lau. He's a good power bat that you could, if you got a contender that wants to get some depth, maybe at DH or maybe get a second baseman that can swing the stick, lefty power bat. I think they could possibly go for Brandon Lau too. But again, you got to make sure that we get some good prospects in return. So that's pretty much my thoughts on the trade deadline. And I think how the Rays play this week will determine it. If we go into the trade deadline at 500 like we are tonight after losing to the Jays, we're probably going to lose one of those guys, if not multiple. If we win the next few games, like if we go into next week and we're sitting 3, 4, 5 games above 500, I think only Eflin is the only guy that goes.
So thinking as a fan perspective, like you said, you guys are at 500 right now, 51-51 after tonight's loss. Are you guys in desperate need of making a trade, or should you sit still and just ride it out to the playoffs?
I think the only trade we should make is probably letting go of Zach Eflin. Again, mostly just from the money perspective, because he is owed the most money on the team. And again, his talent has been good, but it hasn't lived up to that contract. And I think, again, you've got so many starting pitchers that are going to be coming back. Some guys, I think Rasmussen, they said, might be kind of landing more in a bullpen role when he comes back. And so that way he kind of saves his arm. But most of your starting pitchers are coming back, and your rotation is going to be bloated. You need to kind of cut some of the fat on this rotation so that way you have your starting five, you have your guys that you go to, and that way you're not overloaded with too many starting pitchers.
Yeah. So just jumping back to the Yankees, because my mom was a diehard Yankees fan when she was younger, so I started getting into the Yankees, watching them a bit more when I was younger. But still watch the Marlins because born and raised in Miami, so that was just the thing. And cable TV, that's the only thing that really had on when it came to baseball, that they're going to show the Marlins.
Yo, shout out my boss, Stephen Boyer. He came from Miami, actually. So, Stephen, man, what's up?
Nice. But the rumor is that the Yankees are trying to go for Chaz Chisholm.
Yep.
How real is that?
I would say Miami is probably desperate enough at this point. I think that they've been trying to hold off rebuilds and stuff for a while, but I think that I think they kind of just need to pull the plug at this point. They've been trying multiple times for multiple rebuilds to make this work. Like, I think they made the playoffs once, maybe twice in the last 5 or 6 years. So they've had their moments, but I don't think this core is quite good enough to win. And I think that need for them to just kind of start over again is going to force their hand. And we could very well see Chaz Chisholm go to the Yankees, which, as a Rays fan, that terrifies me.
I love it. I love it.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it would be great if we trade for him and just move him up here, but no, that we don't have the money for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the Yankees got money for everybody.
Oh yeah,
it don't matter who it is. They could pay anybody.
The only downside to that is that some guys, when they go to New York, they do great. Other guys, like Jacoby Ellsbury, go and they just bottom.
I mean, the bright lights, bro. Even in any other sport, basketball, football, baseball, anytime that anybody goes to New York, man, you gotta be ready to play under the bright lights, because if not, it's gonna hit you.
And that media,
dude.
That media is relentless. But again, which I don't understand. You guys have 27 championships. I understand there is a standard and stuff like that, but at the same time, oh my gosh, you guys finished with 95 wins this year. That's so terrible. That's so bad. You guys haven't had to suffer through 20 straight losing seasons like some other franchises have. I don't know.
I mean, there's greatness and then there's trash.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just, I am happy to have some levels of success. Although, again, it'd be nice to have a ring before they demolish Trop, and maybe hang a nice little banner before we say goodbye to Tropicana Field and hello to Publix Park, maybe? Naming suggestions right there. Just throwing it out there.
Publix, baby.
Publix.
We love it.
Tropicana Field at Publix Park.
What's their motto? What's Publix motto?
Shopping is a pleasure.
Ooh.
Yeah, man.
Hey, sticking with New York, though, man. Moving on to football. Hassan Reddick, Pro Bowl edge rusher of the New York Jets, is holding out for a new contract and has not reported to training camp. His hardline stance will cost him $50,000 per day.
Oh, he wipes his nose with that, man. That ain't nothing, man. He goes to the bathroom using those for toilet paper, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's the mandatory fine right now under the collective bargaining agreement. By rule, the fine cannot be waived. So he is going to get fined 50 G's every single day he didn't report to training camp. Reddick is entering his final year of a 3-year, $45 million contract and is due to make a non-guaranteed $14.25 million in base pay plus another $500,000 with incentives. The Jets inherited this contract from the Eagles when they traded for him in late March for a 2026 conditional third-round pick. What do you think about this situation overall with Hassan Reddick holding out?
I mean, it sucks for the Jets, first of all, because you signed this guy to help bolster that defense and to give Aaron Rodgers a chance to win another Super Bowl. Like, we give the team a chance to win another Super Bowl. It sucks for them. And, I mean, Reddick, he's going to do what he wants, man. Like, if he wants to get that money. Some players, when they're in a negotiating window and stuff like that, they'll do what Reddick did and hold out. Other times, they'll just do what Mike Evans did and just play through the season and just figure out negotiations at the end. Like I understand either way. Like, you want to get your bread, you want to get that money, but also too, it's like, yo, you're a professional, you're still under contract with the team. Just show up and do your thing, and then you can negotiate later on. Meanwhile, this is not good for you. It's not a good look PR wise, I think, for Haason Reddick to hold out and just be like, like it rubs a lot of people the wrong way. And again, we're talking about New York market, New York media. That's not going to be good on Sundays. He might be the only person on the Jets that gets booed at a home game, potentially.
You see, I see where you're coming from, but I disagree on the fact that the Jets knew what they were doing when they were trading for someone that's going to be on their last year of their contract. You should already know that this player, a top-notch player on the defensive end of the ball, where defense win championships and where the Jets have been known for the last few years that's how they've been winning, because of their defense. So they're bringing this guy in, traded him for a third rounder, not that big of a deal. So they're getting him for a little discount, or in my opinion, a big discount. They're bringing him in, so they should expect, yo, you know what? We're going to have to pay this guy. He's on his last year of this contract. He's a Pro Bowler. He's expecting this money in return if you're going to bring him up to me. Been like, you know what? We're going to trade for him. All right, the next week, we should already expect we're going to pay this guy for however many more years and however many more money.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, both sides are losers in this one. Nobody wins. The Jets don't get that cohesion that they're seeking. And then Haason Reddick doesn't look good in front of New York media. So in this case, they both suck.
Yeah.
So,
but just
Jets.
Just with sticking with Haason Reddick and his play, do you think he deserves a big time contract or just a franchise tag?
I think probably, I wouldn't say necessarily deserves, like, if we had to quantify it, like, in terms of, like, like a max deal or something like that, like, just to use like NBA terms.
NBA terms.
Like that. Yeah, like, I wouldn't say he's worthy of like a max deal, but he's definitely still he's a premier player at a premier position. Edge rusher is one of those that is going to be highly sought after by multiple teams. That's the way most defenses are run nowadays. You have your inside backers, you have your nose tackles, stuff like that, but it's mostly defenses are built around edge rushers and corners. Those are the guys that make the big bucks on the defensive side of the ball. So, and again, like you said, you're the Jets. You got to expect that. You better be ready for all the headaches, and if you don't, that's on you. And again, Haason Reddick, you know what you're doing. You're a grown man. You're going to decide to hold out. You're going to pay all this money. It's not going to look good on you. You might alienate yourself from your teammates. That's on you. You both suck.
Yep. I mean, Jets have been told to suck. Right, Prince?
The Cowboys, their back don't want to play their players.
Yeah.
How about them Cowboys?
They always, man, they didn't want to play Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
That's what, you know what I'm saying? All the boys, they never want to play, you know what I'm saying? They don't never want to pay them. So CeeDee Lamb is holding out, and Zach, he's too, right?
Yeah. Owners in the NFL, they don't really like to play their players, really. They want to squeeze them out to their last breath, their last blood, their last sweat until they drop dead. And then they're like, you know what? We're either going to trade you like the Eagles did and traded them to the Jets, or they're going to eventually pay them. And it's just like, dude, like, why can't we come to a common ground? Prince, real quick. Olympics start this weekend, Paris Olympics. Go USA. America, baby. America.
Yeah.
Prince, what would be your favorite sport to watch in the Olympics?
Track.
All
right.
Okay. UBC?
I got to go weightlifting, man.
Weightlifting.
Yeah, dude. I love the gym. I love it when people just throwing around like 700-800 pounds like it's nothing.
Nice.
Impressive.
Yeah, for me, it would be basketball, but I feel like you already knew that, so I'll pick another one, and I would say track as well. But if anybody that controls the Olympics is watching or listening to this, put beer pong in there, and I'm in there, baby. I'm representing America.
Who you
Peace
think,
on the
Mimi?
Streets Radio, baby. Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. to midnight. I'm your boy, George Michael. We got BC in the building,
Yes,
and we out of
sir.
here, baby.
Oh,
Call it a
for
night.
Sports Talks, guys, I'm going to check out gymnastics. Ow!
Oh, Mimi, say the line.
Now, first of all, you
What you
guys
got?
killed it. Thank you so much for being with us on Peace on the Streets radio show, Sports Talk. Now, listen, guys, the saddest thing is wasted talent. Don't waste the gift that God has given you. Go full force, never let fear or intimidation stop you. Buenas noches, Orlando!
Buenas noches.
Yeah. Bony knees to
Peace.
you too, me. You guys, we be back on again next week, you guys, from 9 to 12, giving you all the hot topics, sports talk, Wild Out Wealthy Wednesday, all different type of topics on Peace on the Streets radio show. We out of here, you guys. God bless you. Be safe.